Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, whenever you are. Hello, thank you for watching my videos. It's Mike, it's March 20th, 2009. Okay, so funny story of the day, from the Times. Find the weirdest sights on Google UK Street View. Of course, there's, Google has got this lovely little technology where they drive around in a van and they actually take pictures along all the streets, and then they tie it up with GPS data, and then when you're in Google Earth you can actually see what it looks like from the street. It's quite cool. Obviously raises huge issues around privacy, but anyway, that's a different argument altogether. Now, they've started doing it over in the UK here. At first they did it in the States. They've been doing it in the UK for building up the pictures for a while in the UK. Apparently they kept hitting some deer and stuff like that, but the bad weather and snow and so forth made it more difficult for them to actually get this stuff done. But they have. They've done quite a bit of the UK now. So, so I've included a link so you can take a look at this, and also take a look at the 10 funniest things in the US version of the Google Street View. Okay, some more interesting stuff going on. Barack Obama issues surprise video offering new beginning to Iran. So the US is backing down, maybe? I don't know. There's also been press reports today that Israel may well be called guilty of war crimes in their pursuit of Hamas through Gaza and what they did in Gaza. So that should all prove very interesting. So the Obama thing, the message to the Iranian people is actually on a YouTube video, and he released it also into various Muslim and Arabic news sites with Arabic subtitles, so that they would actually understand what he was saying. And I've included a link to the text of what he was saying. So basically he's offering an olive branch of sorts. Basically saying this should be a new beginning. I'm just wondering if this is in the same vein as Gordon Brown earlier in the week with his particular olive branch to Iran. Maybe they're beginning to understand something is going on there. So, and of course I've also included a couple of links to YouTube videos that basically demonstrate that the Iranian president, Ahmadinejad, that's the one, basically saying, he's never said, let's nuke Iran. He didn't. So there's a couple of articles of what he actually said, and also his other words taken out of context as to the solution for Israel. I mean, his basic idea is let's have a referendum there, for gosh sakes. Half of the country don't get to vote, have no say in what's happening. This can't be right. So don't buy all the crap they're pushing down your throat over there in the States, and here in the UK too. Okay, it's also interesting that a mainstream newspaper over here actually has an embedded YouTube video. That's bizarre. Okay, so, car production. Car production decline worsens amid crisis. Well, yeah, the factories are all shut. Remember, you reported that a few weeks back. I guess people's memories are very, very short. A lot of the car manufacturing over here has basically just stopped altogether. So, is it any wonder the car manufacturing has declined? Now, of course, the story behind that is that it's declined because there is no demand for new cars. Or rather, a rather minimized demand for new cars. I think I've seen, maybe in the last week, maybe 5 or 6 brand new cars, and that's it. Everybody else is buying used cars. Okay, it survived the Great Depression, but the motor show is now cancelled, and this, of course, is regarding to the whole, there's no demand for this stuff. Okay, number of households in England to increase by 250,000 a year. Well, where are they going to pack them in? Anyway, so the current number of households, because somebody asked earlier, roughly 24 million households, not houses. There's more households than houses, because you get, anyway, I won't go there. Now, of course, there's a very important date coming up, and that is the quarterly rent date, which is next Wednesday, when quarterly rents are due for retailers, and also for anybody else that's got a shop out there. So I expect to see a flurry of activity within retailing and announcements of new bankruptcies and new restructuring programs going on. So don't be surprised. And of course this brings the whole question of layoffs. I found a really cool website in the States. Now sorry, I don't know. I haven't been able to find this kind of information in the UK or Canada or anywhere else, but maybe if people could point me at some of this stuff, like does anyone know of a really good, unemployment site for Canada and the UK that actually has some real numbers in it as opposed to the garbage they're pumping out? Because I would really appreciate that. But anyway, Layoff Daily. So this is basically a list of here's all the layoffs that have been reported in the news. And of course there's lots of stuff that doesn't actually make it to the news. But anyway, it gives you some kind of idea of the scale of this thing. I've also included a link to a photo piece on what's happening around the world. People should take a look at this. This is not just a UK problem, this is not just Canada, this is not just the States. This is everywhere, and it's spreading really fast. So, be ready for that. And I've included also a link to an article on homeless camp, tents, cities, so forth. Some feel burned as media's spotlight falls on capital's homeless camps. Well, sorry, they're there. Of course you're going to get people reporting on it. Okay. However, some good news. Ericsson has won a contract to supply a 3G network to China Unicom. So this is really good news for people who work for Ericsson in various Nordic countries and in fact around the world. That's really good. However, they also reported, Sony Ericsson reported, a first quarter profit warning. They issued a profit warning. The number of handsets that are being sold has dropped dramatically. Sales are down something like, I don't know, what was it? It was 8 or 12%. I can't remember the number exactly. But it was not good at any rate. And so people aren't, splurging on these new handsets. Nokia is also probably going to report lower numbers, as are the other major manufacturers. And of course Motorola, just give up on them for mobile phones. I think they're pretty much tanked. Now, what's happening today? Today is a quadruple witching week. What's a witching week? Right, so Friday, basically all kinds of things come due. You got all kinds of options coming due, you got all kinds of shorting coming due, you got all kinds of nasty things coming due today. The market in the States is going to go mental. It's going to be everywhere. Now, who knows where it's going to end up? It's just going to bounce everywhere. And if there's any bad news at all, that'll just send prices plummeting. So, I think maybe that's why they're rolling out this whole Obama hands an olive branch to Iran to distract people from the real mess behind things. But we shall have to see. And of course this economic system, the way that things are going, is actually beginning to impact consumers. And they're actually beginning to start to notice some of this stuff. So it is good that some of the sheeple are waking up. But we got to get more people to understand this is not a run-of-the-mill recession, folks. This is going to be worse than the Great Depression. The way things are rolling here, this is not very good at all. So I've included a link to an article, Fears Grow More Consumers, with more consumers. So there we go. And an interesting piece of news. FedEx over in the States reporting a huge loss this quarter, just finished, and more importantly that international shipping and haulage is dropping big time, as is domestic transport is dropping. And so I've also included a link to a blog. FedEx calls the bottom. Yeah, I don't think we're at the bottom yet, folks. Not by miles. So I'll probably find something funny to put on the end. I haven't found it yet, so but there will probably be a funny video at the end, just to cheer you all up after my doom and gloom. No, there has been no break in the gloom and doom. It's just me not reporting it. Okay, everyone out there, do have a good day. Have a good weekend if you're watching this on Saturday, and I will speak to you again soon enough. Peace, love, understanding, think about things. Okay.